Okay, so welcome back guys. In this video we are going to talk about WebSockets, how do we use them in your chat application. We are not going to make some complex chat application. We are not going to store the messages. That would be super complex. We don't want to get into that. For the sake of the codes, we'll just make the messages which can be seen one time by the user and just gone, and the persons who are online in the chat can only see them. So let's start configuring the WebSockets. Okay, so in order to use WebSocket, we need to shift the Express server to a special HTTP server so that our socket and Express can both use a single server. So to do that, after this we can just make a new HTTP server. So const HTTP is equal to require HTTP dot create server and app. So we just passed in the Express instance, and now Express is running on this, and we can just do it http.listen. so if I just go ahead and run npm test, just wait for nodemon to come. Here we go. So it's connected to the database and everything, so there's no problem in this. And now let's just include socket.io. So to include socket.io, first we need to install it. So go to another window and just type npm install socket.io. Still then we will just include it right here. So we'll just go here after the server, and will do const io is equal to require socketio, and we just passed in the server. Oh no, http. Here we go. We just passed in the server. We just save this. It still works with no problem. Hopefully, yeah, it still works with no problem. So now here we will just start our socket thing. So socket section. I'll just call it socket section. And I'll just do io.on connection. So what does this mean? Wait, let me just type it and I'll just show you what does this mean. So basically every socket you connect to the server has a special socket identity. So whenever you connect to a socket on the server, it executes the connection method, connection event. So we could just detect this event in the Node.js, and each socket has a separate identity and it's stored as an object in the socket. So we represent the single socket which the user was connected as a socket. So that's how this works. And we'll just go here, and when we are connected we can just detect any events we want. So basically we want everything enclosed in this. There's absolutely nothing we are going to do outside this of socket. So almost everything is inside this. So let's go ahead, and we need to make a chat message maybe. So if someone gets sends a chat message now, and you need to remember, you don't need to have to make this picture. IO represents the entire pool of people, and socket means the only one person. So if we get a request from a single socket which is a message whose name is message, by the way, we can make custom events and send. So message is actually a custom event which we are making and sending to the server, and we can pass data as an object. So here we go. And yeah, when we get a message, then we have two things here. First of all, we have the token of the user, and the token of the user is stored in user.js. If we see, we have the database thing here, so we could just do that, and that's pretty easy. So let's try to do this. We need to include user. So const user is equal to require model/user. Here we go. And now let's go here. Now we need to get token and message. Token, we are doing the destructuring, like when you saw the previous videos, we were destructuring the variables of objects. So we get this from data, and now we have the two variables called token and message which we can play around. And yeah, so first of all, let's check if the token is valid. So const, now we need to do first of all we need to make this an async function because we are going to handle the database. So and now we will make a new variable user object, which would be equal to user, oh sorry, we are making the mistake again, we need to type away user dot find one, and here we will just provide the token, and since it's a token we'll just provide this, and that's all we need to provide it. And if not user objects, like here it generally means if the user doesn't exist with the token, that is the user is unauthorized or something like that. So unauthorized, then just return, we need to just return the function, we need to stop the execution immediately, we don't want to send unnecessary messages. So we return a socket.emit auth error, we just emit this, we don't provide any information because authentication error is authentication error, there is nothing more. Like of course you won't provide an access to a socket to a person who is not registered in your website, you will only provide it who is logged in, and of course who is logged in has a valid token, or maybe if it's an expired then it will just show up an auth error. That's simple. And at this point the user is authenticated, and here we need to just send the message. So we do io.emit, and I'll wait a second, I'll just tell you why we did io here. So I'll just emit a message called message, don't confuse it with the upper message because these messages are different. So and we'll just provide the data like we would provide from, and in from we will just do user object dot name, and the message as the message sent by the user. So we just leave this like this. So the reason why we did io.emit, because we wanted to send this to the entire pool of the people. So we don't want to send this to a specific user, we want to send it to the entire pool of people because that's a group chat, and that's how we do this. Because io represents, again I'll tell this again, io represents the entire pool of people, and socket represents a single person who is connected to the particular socket. So here io means that I am going to refer to the entire pool of people who is connected. So I need to send the message to everyone. Like when you are getting a message from someone, you need to send it to the entire people. So that's how you do it. And yeah, that's it for messages. So yeah, this is the basic socket configuration you need to do. By the way, we will not just do the front end right here, maybe like this is the only code which is necessary to us. Like we first check that the user is authenticated or not. Like I'll just go to the steps again. Like first it will detect the message event, and it will just destructure all the data which is sent, and it will just take the user object and find if the person is available with that token, and if there is no person with that token, just return an auth error, like that person not authenticated, we cannot trust that person, and we cannot send the person. Like this can result in impersonation. So and if the person is at this point the person is authenticated, because if the person is not authenticated we just return it here, and execution is stopped at this point. If that execution is here, that means the user is authenticated, and then we send the message to everyone. That's how this works. And yeah, okay, so that's all for this one. We will start the front end from next video, and I hope you guys like this WebSocket thing, and just subscribe if you want to want me to just upload new projects. And that's all for this episode.